We're off. We're off. What's the crack, everybody? You're all very welcome to number 54 of the Ramble Pod for Tuesday, the 11th of May. La fuck's sake, Tom. It's not even, it's June. It's Christ in June. It's the pissings of rain have me thinking it's not June yet. So the 11th of June 2019. What's fucking happening? I'm in mighty form. Yeah. I don't know why. The dog made a holy fucking show of me. I went down to pick up an old thing there, and you get these fucking jobs when you're married or in a relationship. You get these jobs. Can you pick up a thing from such and such a house? I'm like, yeah, I can do. So it was a cabinet to bring. I said I'd help somebody out because the old car is a bit bigger. So dog made a fucking holy show of me, barking her fucking skull off for no reason at all. Well, they had a dog inside the fucking door, and Jesus Christ, I'm not even going to get into it. She had a big sulky fucking head in her because I gave her an 8. But then, of course, I took her up to the pet shop. Couldn't resist bringing her into the pet shop. It was to get her grub, essentially. But then, I was kind of giving out to her. I was like, this is fucking... You shouldn't be getting this fucking treat of a walk. Of course you want him behind the counter. She's a lovely woman. She comes out with, treats of all sorts for the dog. I'm like, for fuck's sake. Parenting 101. I totally let it slide. Fuck. But I'm making my mistakes now. I'm making my mistakes on the dog. She's a complete fucking lunatic. So hopefully I'll be a bit fucking harder on the fucking actual child. Right. Oh yes, the gig this coming up, the one I do want to tell you about. It's in aid of just raising some funds for Billy Anderson, our fallen hero, fallen friend. We're putting on a gig at the Workman's Club. It'll be kicking off at sharp 7:20, I think. So get in there for 7. There's limited tickets available as far as I know on this one, but it'll be likes of myself. Jesus, there's a fucking ridiculously long lineup, but everybody's doing a couple of minutes. But there's myself, Jared Regan, Chris Kent, Neil Delamere, Demo Clark. Fuck, I don't have the list in front of me, but it's long. It's long. It's really easy to find anyway if you just type it in, Workman's Club, 21st of this month. 2 weeks' time. We're all doing a couple of minutes just to raise a few quid because... You know what I mean? Fella 36, 37 may not have had life insurance. Who knows? But it's trying to raise a few bob for his young fella. Whatever, you know what I mean? So the boys up the north, fair play to them. They held a night a couple of weeks ago. Raised a few quid. Good on you. Colin, Chrissy, I think Aaron, Mickey, a couple of more of the boys was involved. Dave, Shane. So this is a colossal. There's about 15 people on this lineup all doing a couple of minutes. Just so we can pack the fucker out. I think it holds. I did the room before, and I'd say it holds about 180. I could be wrong, but I would imagine it will sell out because the newspapers are getting on it and all the rest. It'll be a good night. It's not going to be all somber and shit. I mean, there's nothing like, comedians to talk about dark fucking stuff, and Billy was a dark enough bastard himself, so it'll be a good bit of crack. The Clifton version of the night of Defending the Caveman. Clifton has gone up for sale. I don't think I've ever been to Connemara. So any Connemara heads out there, I don't know how, because you see I am doing Galway at the town hall in Galway, and tickets have already gone on sale for that. So they're two separate entities, big county. So any Connemara folk, anybody on the lash, October 6th, I'll be in the station house in Clifton. So those, we're still waiting on UCH, and I think Mullingar to put them up for sale. I don't know what the reasoning behind them not putting it up for sale straight away when everybody else is, but there you go. One of the first to put it up for sale was the Opera House down at Wexford, and that's the last one on this side of Christmas. There's a bunch more coming after Christmas, as far as I know. Stand-up gigs wise, no, I'm in full. I'm not quite in rehearsal mode just yet, but I'm in full fucking shaping up this fucking script for this thing, so I haven't taken any stand-up gigs, so I do have stand-up gigs later in the month and stuff like that, and I'll tell you as they come up, but have a look at the old website there, tommahoney.com, for, if you want to go to a stand-up gig, feel free to have a gander at that. They're in there, but more importantly, I think Defending the Caveman is the one you want to go to. You get your bang for your buck anyway. Because I'll be fucking smashing the shit out of this one. This one's giving it fucking holly now. Oh, the weekend where I was in. That new comedy club Landmark I was telling you about. It's in a bar called the Landmark. You know what? I think I may have been in it once drunk, but it's owned by a couple, I think, Leinster rugby players. I think It's there on George Street or Camden Street in Dublin. Great crack. What a little room. Oh, Jesus. Small little room, perfect. Got to fucking try out some new stuff. Got a good, I'd say, 15 minutes of new stuff. Tried it out. Still on shaky ground, but it came across grand. It's getting there. It's getting there. It's polishing up nicely, like. But it's going to take a bit of rewriting of a few bits. But it's hard to read because you have people from fucking everywhere. You know what I mean? You gotta have a couple of different modes when you're doing this. Like if you're, say, like I do a gig in Galway. You know, I do the Roisin Dove. It's going to be, you know, mostly the same kind of people, even if they are from different countries. Getting a lot of student sort of people, local Galway people and stuff like that. But you do a gig on Camden Street in Dublin, and it is, you know, the United Nations. So it's hard sometimes to read because you're going, I have a plan for this, and it's for Irish audiences. But if it's working with internationals, it's the light version. It's the light version. I'm going to take a sup of tea now, so excuse me for 1 minute. A minute? Jesus. How long was I expecting to drink that fucking tea for? But yeah, I was happy enough. But it's a lovely little room, so I don't know. I mean, I don't know who's out on a Wednesday night. But if you are, it's an alright little room. Actually, it's a lovely, lovely little room. In fairness, I had no idea there's such a nice staging area, like the velvet curtains and everything. It looks the shit, like, you know what I mean? Barring there was a fucker singing downstairs. I don't know, was he downstairs or was he out on the fucking street or where he was singing? But thankfully he'd finished up by the time I was going on stage. Like, but through some of the other acts, he was, if he was downstairs, it felt like he was coming through the fucking windows. Like, so those are the thinnest windows in all of Dublin. From if it shot out the window of downstairs, came upstairs a story and came back in the fucking window. Holy Christ! And it wasn't like he was singing, you know, cheery sort of stuff that you get along with. Like, it was this. Yeah, that sounds like, you know, the Muslim call to prayer more than anything, but that's kind of what it was. It was like some sort of folky, traditional Irish music, but it was fucking pure misery. It sounded like there was fucking blood pouring out of the speakers downstairs. It was horrendous. I'm saying that because I'm a bollocks. I was kind of going, would he shut up? We've got comedy to do up here. You know, and he's probably going, who are them fuckers upstairs talking? Who wants to listen to people talk? Well, sometimes people do. That was a conversation I had with Gar Murren at the weekend at the lounge. He was just saying how some people just don't know the concept of a comedy club, and they don't. And it's fair enough. You haven't been to a comedy club. You may have gone to see Michael McIntyre or fucking Kevin Bridges in the 3 Arena or something, but that's, you know, you could fucking have a barbecue up the back of them fucking gigs. Like, but in a comedy club, he brought his friends one time years ago to the International. One of his mates was like, so what happens? Like, he said, what do you mean what happens? He goes, you've been to comedy before? He goes, well, no, not really. What goes on? It's like, well, you sit down there and you shut the fuck up and you laugh when you find something funny and you cheer along. You just kind of act as an audience. The audience have their role. He was like, so you just talk and we just listen. And when you say it out like that, it's like, oh yeah, that does sound like a weird fucking thing to do, and people are paying for the privilege of it. But speaking of which, the Laughter Lounge, oh man, what a weekend. It was, it was just fucking lovely. And stuff I hadn't done in there before, like worked like fucking treat. It was like Friday night was just, when you do 3 nights in a row in a place, like you're going, yeah, all 3 can't be as good as each other, like, and there's normally peaks and troughs, like, and Thursday night was good. It was good for a Thursday night because you get a lot of people in there, like I've said before, like you get a lot of people in there who are just after work, or they're in there with the boss or the work colleagues, and they're kind of going, they're being a bit, you know, hold back a little bit, but it was fucking class. It's Friday night though. There's no topping. Like, you can't do much better in a comedy club than that. Like, you know what I mean? It was just delicious. Everybody had an absolute fucking stormer. I went way over by what I reckoned. I think I went way over. I looked down at the clock. I was like, oh, right. Yeah, time to shut the fuck up and get off here, Tom. But it was just kind of one of those evenings, you know what I mean? Saturday night was great, but there was a lot large gangs of women in hens and all the rest of it. And look, you know, everybody listening doesn't need me to tell you what that means. Chatty. Jesus Christ, though, which is fair. Look, all right, fair enough. You know, you're on your night out. But it's like when you're getting other members, groups of the audience, it's like one group of women One group of women told to shut the fuck up. It was amazing. This one was, hey, shut the fuck up. It was like the audience was heckling the audience. It was good. Like, it was because, it's right up my street. Once there's some sort of energy in the room. If there's no energy, there's nothing you can do with it. But if there's some sort of energy, even if it is a bit, but it was just people were pissed fucking drunk. Like this one, Gar had a go at her. She was a bridesmaid of the hen. The hen was lovely, quiet woman, chuckling along to everything. Everybody else in the group bar the one, and every group has one. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he pointed it out that I bet you're that one in the group where when you land on, everybody goes, oh. He was on the fucking money. Like, oh, she was a fucking dose, just shouting, just one word at a time. She was like 10 seconds behind the world as well. Like, so she was shouting shit from like a joke that had finished like 10 seconds previous, just shouting a word, not even of no benefit to anybody. And like that was when one woman just piped up. She goes, would you shut the fuck up, to the back of her head. It was amazing. But we're like, I'm like, no, I'm grand. I'm not going to fucking whinge about it. But it was an odd moment when I was just stepping up the stage. She reached over, right? And I thought it was like a handshake or a high five or something, which does, it happens. It happens. Like, people are high fiving when you're walking down through the audience or whatever. But she went to fucking, I don't know, was she trying to grab my junk or whatever, but she locked onto my fucking trousers. And there was a split second where I'm going, I will fucking bust you. I will fucking bust you because I'm a feminist. I will fucking bust you if you fucking come near me again. But it was just like, man, you could not, like, we don't really need to say what I'm leaning towards, but you know what I mean. Swap those roles. She's the comedian and I'm her for a second. And I'm in her position. I reach out and I'm like, I'm going to fucking grab this bitch and I'm going to fucking, because just out bananas. And this woman turns out was a teacher. I'm not saying, that everybody can't let their hair down, but fucking hell tonight. This was only like fucking 10:30, 10:15. Nobody was fucking out. It wasn't even 10 o'clock. Maybe about 10:10. Yeah. Fucking hell. But that's, that's part and parcel of it. Like, you just fucking deal with it, whatever. You're like, yeah, whatever. But I will fucking slap you. I will fucking slap you. It was funny. It's just funny just to see it going, wow, you're somebody's fucking sister. Imagine that. Your sister behaving like that. Fuck. Yeah, there'll be fucking conversations. Head. My thank you very much to the Patreons. We're live over on the Patreon at the minute. Yeah, a couple of people watched in live last week. Gaz was watching. Hull, was it Hull you said you're from? Good on you, bro. He's a Patreon. We have a new Patreon this week. We have Shane, big fan of the podcast. He's been there for a long time. He's in, turns out I scared the shit out of him and his family during Panto season. When I decided to walk up to the audience and sit in their families, sit in with the rest of the family. I didn't realise, I just was having the crack. I saw an empty seat where his young fella had been sitting, but apparently I frightened the piss out of the whole family by jumping in there. I suppose when a man is carrying a large axe, walking around in a kid's affair, there's children about, you can see how it scared the fuck out of everybody. My thanks to you, my thanks to you, Shane. Good on you, brother. Thanks for getting on board. It does help. We're getting there. We'll get there. We'll get that fucking camera. But also, I've explained the concept of it before, like just trying to fucking set aside time because time is getting fucking tight. That's the whole thing about being self-employed. Like, people think just work walks in the door and all the rest. Fuck me, it doesn't. Like, but no, in fairness, I love what I do. Like, but you do have to bust your stones to fucking make sure work is coming in the door because we all need feeding and setting aside time. But if Patreon is paying for the fucking thing, that means the podcast is paying for itself. It's justifiable down on a piece of paper to go, nah, I'm not fucking doing that other stupid shit when I'm fucking rewriting a script for a thing that I fucking hate. I'm going to do a podcast for the Patreons. And I'm going to make more funny videos and shit like that. Just want to make sure the green light went off there. Does that mean? Oh no, we're back on. We're still there. I don't know why the whatchamacallit went off. The light went off. But we're back on. Fair enough. So yeah, thanks very much. If you do, it'd be great. Anybody who wants to contribute to the podcast, it is majorly appreciated. It does help. There's no two fucking ways about it. Think about it. What the fuck would you be doing for free? Jono. So, the week that was, what the fuck went on? Yeah, I was gigging over the weekend, obviously. I think I do have an addiction problem when it comes to Milky Teeth, lads. Milky fucking teeth. Give them to me all day long. I could devour. I reckon I could eat a kilo of Milky Teeth. Does everybody, like, because a lot of people listen to this in other countries. Are Milky Teeth available in other countries? I put up, if you go to my Instagram and you'll see what I'm talking about. If you're going, what the fuck? What? Milky Teeth? They're, like, I know. I mean, but look, they're not the weirdest of the jellies. The old school jellies, like you jelly babies. You wine gums. You know, when you think about it, who have things like gin and port printed on them. But yeah, you know, jelly dolphins, whatnot, marshmallow dolphins. But I'd eat them all, to be honest with you. But honestly, the Milky Teeth, they have to be covered in cocaine. There is, what makes them so nice? Like, if you don't know what I'm talking about, they look like a set of dentures, essentially. It looks exactly like a set of top row teeth dentures. And they're made of some sort of gelatinous, I don't know, jelly stuff. And they're covered in this white dust. And anybody now, can you imagine writing this down on paper for somebody who never heard of Milky Teeth jellies before, and they're going, okay, keep going. Oh, they're covered in a fucking delicious white dust. I wonder what makes them so addictive. Yeah. So I'm convinced it's fucking cocaine all over the Milky Teeth. Let me know. Are Milky Teeth available? Because they're harder and harder to get. The only crowd I can get that's making them, and I will be doing the Dean Crow fucking arts fucking theatre with Defending the Caveman. They're made by Athlone Sweets. I'd love a tour of Athlone Sweets because they make some alright sweets. They make a couple of old school yolks there. And you know there's a lot of people fuck acting around trying to make a wine gum and they never come close. But they fucking do. There's a lot of cheap ass crowds making wine gums and they should be arrested. They're not even fucking close to what a wine gum should be. But in fairness to the Athlone crowd. So if anybody knows where I can get a fucking tour of the factory, this podcast has not been brought to you by Athlone Sweets. I'm just bigging them up because I really want to tour the factory. So if anybody knows anybody in Athlone Sweets, hit me up. I want a fucking tour when I get over there for the Dean Crow fucking gig. Which, by the way, let me just see when it's on. Fuck it, I may as well. Look, because it's fucking hard enough to be continuously saying these things, but you do have to assume that there's new people listening to the podcast. Because there is, you can see it, the numbers are going up every week. Like, you can see there are new people listening to the podcast. They're going, what's he fucking talking about? He's over in the Dean Crow. I am in the Dean Crow theatre. Who's Dean Crow, I wonder? It's kind of a cool name, isn't it? And it's Crow with an E as well, like Russell. Friday the 8th of November with the new show I'm doing, the one-man play I'm doing called Defending the Caveman. So if anybody wants to set me up with a tour of the factory, oh Jesus Christ, I tell you, I'll collect stuff for the Patreons. There'll be Patreon stuff. That's a task for anybody out there who loves a good fucking task. Get me a tour and I will bring you stuff. And more so for the fucking, if you're a Patreon, then yeah. But if anybody wants to get me a fucking tour, I'll get you some fucking jellies while I'm in there. Get you some merch. Yeah, I went way too long on what I was fucking thinking about. There was a thing at the weekend that popped up on my timeline a few times because there seems to be people. I would assume it's because I talk a lot about fucking things like agriculture and machinery and trucks and stuff like that. And of course, I had Paul Crowley on the podcast a couple of weeks ago. But it was an event over the weekend in Punchestown. It was a truck show, which I would have liked to have gone to be honest with you, because you go to any show of anything, even if it's something you're not into, whether it's even if you go to a show of flowers like Bloom, you know it's going to be the daddy of all the fucking people are putting on their best thing because they're trying to convince people like me that it's a good, and also they're putting on stuff for people who are really into it. So I would have liked to have gone to a truck show, but it purely based on the fucking name of the show. And this show has been going for 10 years because this was like its 10th anniversary show. They named the show, wait for this, without zero consultation from anybody, right? Full of the pipe truck show. Yeah. Full of the pipe. We're full of the pipe, lads. Are you? Jesus. Good on you. That's what you're into. Full of the pipe. I like a full pipe. I like pipes, exhaust pipes I could think of. I don't know. Full of the pipe. though, like, it only means one thing, that you're full up with pipe. Like, what? They didn't think once. Let's just brainstorm, spitball here for a second, lads. Let's foot to the floor. No, not with it, lads. It could be anything. Oh, up 3 steps to heaven. It's a bit hacky, isn't it? It's been used a lot. You'll never be late in a V8. Not everybody drives a V8, Brendan. Not everybody drives a V8. I'm sorry. Got it. Let's hear it. Full of the pipe. Let's hear it again. Full of the pipe. Jesus Christ, I just got an erection. That's amazing. That's it. Kids are welcome. Kids are welcome. Oh, sweet suffering Jesus. A day for all the family. Get full of the pipe. Oh, fuck me. No, don't fuck me. Not with a pipe anyway. Jesus. Oh, what the fuck? What the actual fuck, lads? Come on. Full of the pipe, like. Ah. Handmaid's Tale is back on. It's not bad. Waiting for it to rightly kick off. I like how they close like last season, and you know they close the season with like, I'm a bad bitch kind of, which is great because it's a fucking great way to finish the season, like, you know. But they seem to be fucking slotting it in now every second scene. They're slotting in one of those kind of, I'm a bad motherfucker kind of a look, and you're like, we need to see you fucking. I mean, I know she's suffering, but you can like, as soon as you over dilute a fucking joke, it's useless come the punchline. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, just saying. Yeah, look, who the fuck am I giving out? She's an unbelievable actor. What did I see her in recently? Oh yeah, she was in that film Oz, and she was totally underutilized. Like, now, I mean, it's a grand gig to get, like, but she's a fucking dynamite actor, like dynamite. Like, you can buy what she's selling. You know what I mean? So I think they may have to. Who the fuck am I talking about? Like, I'm just, you know, it's tough. Season 3, fuck me, that anything to push it on to see anything on to season 3. There is an end game in this. That's the only thing about this. It's just not just rolling over for the fucking crack of it. There is an end game in it, like. But I watched Black Mirror, first episode of Black Mirror. Load of shite. Not a bit fucking troubling at all. I mean, okay, it was a bit troubling, you know. It was like, if you haven't seen it, I'm not going to spoil it on you, but like, you get it. You're like, oh, right, yeah, I get it. But like, it's a decent premise, but they dragged it over the coals. Like, yeah, small. Like, I'm not expecting every show to be as shocking, but maybe it's because it seems to be, I don't know. It seems to be they've gone, since they've gone quite American, which is where his big money is. You know what I mean? Your man Charlie Brooker. That's where his big money is. I know, I get it. But since it's gone American, the absolute troubling fucking night's sleep. Like, I didn't think about it as soon as it ended. I didn't think about it for one more second right up until now. I didn't think about it. But you're kind of going, like, if you go back, like, still to this day, I still get troubled by the whole premise and the show that was the very first one where your man had to fuck a pig. Fuck. Like, that's the level he needs to go to. Like, yeah, okay, there was it's weird. It's definitely weird. It's got the Black Mirror weirdness to it. But, I don't know. Just, you know, it was a wake old fucking one. Watery. A bit watery for my liking. I wasn't a big fucking fan now, but I'll hold out. There's 2 or 3 more episodes there. We'll see. Does it get fucking creepy in any way? We had Donald Trump over last. Jesus Christ, that man doesn't give a bollocks. He was trying to be charming without Leo there, like, and he was going, I think the wall will be a good thing for you. Yeah, sure, you're mad for the wall, aren't you? And he leans in, he's like, no, we're not. It'll be a great thing. The wall will be tremendous. He's like, I think you're fine there. We don't want a ball. Exactly. You don't want a ball. You don't want a ball. And you're not going to get a ball. You're not going to, like, that's, like, people go, oh, he's a bit of savvy there. I read, like, one article where it was like, he has savvy to turn it around. Like, are you fucking joking me? That's what a doddering old man or a fucking toddler does. When they walk in, you catch them fucking doing something they shouldn't. Oh, no, I was totally, no. What I was saying to you there was, do you remember that thing? Stop, you were pissing in the fireplace. You're like, the fucking fire. Don't mind the fireplace. Like I was saying, your man up the road, he's after buying a new fucking truck. And I swear to, that's essentially the same thing. You're just, did I say that? No, what I meant was, no, that's a fucking pure bluffer. Again, he's getting by. I talked about it last week. You can bluff your way through certain things, and that man has bluffed. He's talked such a good, heavy game that he's bluffed everybody into it. Kind of has to be. You have to admire that. If you're totally underqualified for a situation, the most powerful job in the world, anyway. Whether he's the most powerful person in the world, most likely not. But the most powerful job in the world, he's bluffed his way into it, and is still bluffing his way through. Even though he's all sorts of fucking allegations against him. He's like, yeah, sure. So what? A Russian prostitute pissed at me. What are you going to do about it? Yep. What are you going to do about it? Porn star? Yeah, wrote her too, yeah. Anyway, walls. Do you want to build walls? People go, yeah, walls, that's the big issue. Fucking bluffer. But a petrol station in Clare, I put it up. Somebody sent it on to me and I put it up. But it was, they call it Trump Plaza petrol station, because obviously there's the Obama Plaza, well known in Moneygall, that everybody who has driven to Limerick at some stage from Dublin has passed in and stood beside Michelle and Barack Obama's cutouts just inside the door. But they did a fair play, but it was a guy, I think he's on Clare FM. He messaged, he was like, nah, that's actually Paddy Power have done that. Genius move, like, because you see he was over there before his Doon Beg, which is in his golf course that he has in Clare, and they put it up. I mean, that's trolling. Whoever's in Paddy Power that did that, it's like Paddy Power can fucking troll. Like, they are incredible because they have the moolah behind them, and they're making it, like, I don't bet on anything, but I talked about it a couple of weeks ago. My shameful effort of going into a bookies. I looked like a fucking 14-year-old who went into an off license with a fake ID. Like, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I sounded, even the woman behind the counter took pity on me. But you got to take your hat off to fucking Paddy Power. That is badass trolling, because your man's ego is so big, he'd probably see that petrol station and go, class. Or would he? Or would he go, do I own that? Is that my gas station? You don't know, like, regardless. Amazing. Like, why would we? And then they had the sons, two goofy looking fuckers down the local pub, and people were giving out, like, why were people kissing up to him? Now, the fairness, the lads were being charming. Your man was walking around, Eric Trump, I think is his name, he's walking around. Now, I think people did him injustice. They said he had a head on his pint of Guinness that was like about 4 inches high. When you look closely at it, I think he'd been drinking out of that. I don't think that was all head. I think a lot of that was just fuzz down the inside of the glass. So, but they were being charming, they were being nice, but also they're worth a fucking fortune to the local area. So if you're living in fucking West Clare and you haven't a fucking pot to piss in, and your job is reliant on these fucking crowds sticking around, and you know what I mean, temperaments could mean that they could turn around, just shut a golf course, and it might employ 50 people. You gotta kiss a little hole. And it's all well and good, people giving out going, there's no way I would have. You're like, really? Who do you work for? Because I bet you kiss the arse of whoever the fuck you work for. You know what I mean? We all have to kiss a bit of arse. Just, that was very direct arse kissing. Plus, everybody wanted up their Instagram game too, because there was about 700 fucking cameras out. I talk about fucking, kissing arse or whatever and all the rest of it, but when it comes to, like, I suppose, you have to, in less well-off areas, especially, like, where there isn't a ton of fucking work, but you go to Dublin, like, and people were giving out about, I think it's just 79 new hotels or something. There was some number thrown out there, there's 79 new hotels being built in Dublin. I don't know how true that is. There is a lot of accommodation needed, but one of the maddest fucking things I heard over the weekend, because we were looking at, there's talks of me going to Greece in November to do a gig. I may see, can I put it off till next year, because yeah, it'll be right after Caveman, right before Panto, and we'll have a new child in the house, so it may not, heading off for fucking 4 or 5 days. I'd probably be fucked anyway. I don't know if I'd be able to deliver the best stuff, but somebody was saying to me that they were going to honeymoon in Poland. I don't know why I said that, like I just learned the word Poland. Poland. It's like how Joe Rogan said Belfast. Belfast. So Poland. Now, I don't know. Has anybody on the podcast, let me know if you've been to Poland, right? Because apparently, I need to find more Polish people to ask them this question. Apparently, so you find all sorts of taxes put on things, right? When you go to different places, you know, it's just the way it is. Apparently, in hotels in Poland, part of the invoice you get, basically, you look down the bottom of it on your receipt, is a fee for oxygen. Can anybody tell me if that's right or wrong? A fee, like there's actually a fee in there for oxygen, and by that I don't mean the festival in Punchestown every year. I mean oxygen, the air we breathe. Now, I don't know how bad the air is in Poland. Are hotels are they buying in oxygen and pumping it through the hotel? I know they do it in Vegas when there's casinos to keep you awake and stuff like that, but is this an actual fucking thing? I don't want to Google it. I want to find out from the podcast world, podcast arenas. This is one I want to know. Is this a real fucking thing? Genuinely. Holy fucking Jesus. Like, of all the things you could have created a tax, just hide it in there somewhere else. Don't actually put it down on paper that you're going to charge people for their fucking oxygen. Holy fuck. I swear to God, if I was a billionaire and it cost me fucking £5 for a week staying in the hotel of taxes on oxygen, I'd pull it. I'd walk away from it. I wouldn't care if I lost money, because I'd just go, nah, on principle alone, I can't fucking do it. Sweet suffering Jesus. Oh, Jesus, we're over a half an hour in. Right, I have stuff to be doing. I've fucking ton of stuff to be doing. So I got sent this video. As you do on your WhatsApp groups, you get sent insane videos. Now, if you are, if you're impartial to swear words, I'd change over, or I'd pause or skip or whatever for the next probably 45 seconds. But this was essentially a video of a traveller woman. She'd got turned away from going into a wedding, and she wasn't happy about it. And whoever was driving the car, she was in the passenger seat. But there's like a 5-year-old sitting in the back listening to this, right? It's just amazing. It's just amazing. Some orator, the level of confidence to be able to nail it in 45 seconds, like really nailed her call out / situational fucking video, like really gave a good account of the situation, but yeah, pretty fucking intense otherwise. I'm just gonna wait till you fucking hear this. So yeah, that was the story. They got turned away from a wedding. Now, if anybody, I understood everything that was said to this, but I showed a couple of people this video, Irish people, and they missed a good, I would say, quarter to a third of what she was saying. Now, I don't know how I know what she was saying, but for some reason I was. So if anybody wants any translations afterwards, just send me an email to bookshotpodcast@gmail.com. No bother. I'll translate the whole thing for you. No problem at all. So here she goes. I don't know the woman's name. What is that thing? Oh, it's a giant fucking fly. Can you hear that on the podcast? That's the situation we're dealing with. Job, dog, you have one job. Flies are your fucking MO. Come on, fuck it up. All right, so I'm going to play this one, right? Wait and you hear this.
So I just landed at a wedding there a minute ago, and Gearbox came out making us tell us we weren't welcome, on John and Mary's behalf. When they didn't go...
So your man's name is Gearbox. I actually used to do a joke where I joked about weird nicknames, and somebody was actually called Gearbox. Sweet. Okay, so there's a kid sitting in the back, maybe 6, and she's talking to camera here and delivering it well done up and everything. But keep waiting to hear the good stuff.
Doodle and Mary, they went anyways, the bouncer was caught and the staff is after putting us out of the hotel. But I'm letting you know now that I'll be in cabin before you're in cabin, and I promise you that what you're having, you know, your Jukies prostitute you. What you're having is going to come out through your mouth with a kick because it's overdue you. I was giving you a pardon this last 12 year. I was letting you walk by me for pay's sake.
For pay's sake? No, that's confusing. Was it for the actual speed of her walk, or was it for peace sake? But she's just done for pay's sake. Anyway, she's giving it fucking Daz here. This is fantastic. This is fantastic. Here we go.
But you know, tomorrow, you won't walk by me because I'm pulling you out of the camper. I'm pulling you out. And believe me, I deliver your baby tomorrow for you, my good woman. I deliver. And you know your father with the crooked finger, that he may be found dead before the night. A big old fanny, that's all he is. A big old fanny. And that two fucks you or your sisters or anybody else can do about. Now kiss my cunt, you dirty, red, rotten, 80 prostitute. You that has Tom Lost around England, you're the talk of the country. Clean gowl. And anyways, you know what's wrong with you? You're jealous. I have a right dress. I didn't go to Penny's. Rags. Rags of a wedding dress. Rags of bridesmaid dress. I'd be ashamed in my life to let me young one wear clothes like that. I'd be ashamed.
Well, now, she'd be ashamed. Huh? What can be said about that? Isn't that fucking just amazing? The level, like, that was what, 45 seconds or so. But the level of confidence it takes to be able to get that across, like, no, like she was fuming, but she still had the composure. Like, that's good stage presence. That is, like, I mean, the things she was saying was beyond fucking horror. With the crooked finger, Fanny, it's a Fanny. Oh, sweet Jesus, that's, yeah, there you go. But that's some funny shit, like, you know what I mean? But you gotta look at it outside of the fact that she could deliver all that info. She teed up all that info as to what happened, why she'd been in good form with that woman prior, and now what the next stage is going to happen, what she's going to do next. And also, she managed to insult a bunch of other people in the surrounding situation as well. And signed off with "Kiss My Cunt." I don't know. I mean, it is horrific, but like, it's fucking well done. You know what I mean? It's actually well done. So on that delightful fucking note, pull you out of the camper. Right? Okay. Doesn't sound like a nice holiday, but anyway. Don't forget to hit subscribe. This is your first time listening. This is the typical shit we do here at Buckshot. I typically have 2 out a week. There's this one, the Ramble Pod, and there's the good one, the long one at the end of the week with a guest. I have this one's week's already recorded. So I'm going to try put some efforts into teeing up guests for the next few months. I need to get shit in order for the next few months, truth be told. My thanks very much to the Patreons again. Thanks very much to everybody. If you want to follow me on any of the usual platforms, go ahead. Tom O'Mahony Comedy will find it. You can shoot me a long form email. If you go to the old website, you'll find it as well. And don't forget to give it a fucking 5-star rating if you're listening on Apple. I think Apple is the only one you can rate on. But do give it a 5-star rating. Anything else than that, keep it in your pocket. It's purely so that people can find it. It pops up more in people's timeline if it's a more popular fucking podcast. So there you go. Right. Go on away. Enjoy the rest of the week. Enjoy the rest of the week, and I'll talk to you again on Friday.